Guys, we're back for another installment of 5 questions. This week, 5 questions from Cory. 30 seconds for me to do the best I can on the spot.
30 seconds. Let's go. Number one.
Question number one, let's go.
This one's courtesy of Reddit Our Baseball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice thread.
There's been 6 no-hitters in 2021.
Yeah. God, just another one yesterday.
All of them in AL ballparks using the DH.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's an interesting.
So,
I did not think about that.
Aren't DHs supposed to yield more hits? Not less? What are your thoughts on that?
The most recent thing, I read that also in Reddit. The most recent thing I noticed, and I hadn't really put it together either, as it's happening so often. Like, we feel like there's 2 a week almost right now. Corey Kluber most recently with the Yankees. Last night, I'm watching a hockey game, and I actually saw it come across the bottom. I'm like, oh my, another one? Yeah. So today would have been 3 days in a row, and that would have been a record. So let's see if perhaps there's actually a no-hitter today. But they're against 3 teams. The Indians, the Rangers, the Mariners. So to me, it's more of a, I don't know, I'd say it's like a way to kind of invalidate those teams. The Indians have a pretty good record, but they've been no-hit twice. They're second right now in the Central. They don't have a great DH or anything like that. Notice like guys like, even in American League, guys like Nelson Cruz are DHing. For the White Sox, we've got Yermin Mercedes, your current Rookie of the Year candidate, not being no-hit, by the way. So is there something to it? Maybe. I think it's more along the lines of, these are ball players. This is what my instinct is automatically, because it's early. There's already been 6, 7 if you count Madison Bumgarner, right? Is that there's been a major, think about the mindset of the ball player. There has been a major lack of games played. And so I think any team can run risk to it right now, because pitchers are on their game, and I do think part of it is momentum. Lucas Giolito was just talking about the other day, pitched 8 innings, really solid, and he turned a corner around the 6th inning, he said. All of a sudden, he knew he felt confident in his pitches. Pitchers are getting confident. Batters haven't had as many at-bats in the last 2 years. And so maybe that's playing a part of it. I don't want to say it's an indictment on the American League.
I do. I think the DH is BS.
Oh, my God.
And that
Cubs fan, National League.
Right. And that it provides more gamesmanship. The managers actually have to think with the double switches and all that. It's easy to be a manager in American League. You with Sox managers, for example, Ozzie Guillen can do it. Tony Russo can do it.
Hall of Fame manager, right?
It's anybody. They just put anybody in there and be a
have a great
manager.
Hitter go up there in the 8th inning and swing away 3-0. Anyway,
all right.
Anyway, so that's 2. That's what I'm saying. That's bullshit. It's not true. American League still running the show.
Building on the no-hitter thing, Clayton Kershaw mentioned that he's not a fan of all these no-hitters.
Oh, yeah.
And that the Manfred baseball redesign might be part of it. The idea that the seams are a little bigger, more consistent, whatever. Mm-hmm. Balls a touch lighter, so that balls hit towards on a home run trajectory towards the outfield end up falling short because they're way less, and the seams have more drag and all that. The more drag means the higher spin rate is possible for a pitcher.
Harder to hit,
right?
Yep.
What do you think? This isn't the first year Manfred's been tinkering with baseballs.
Yeah.
What do you think about what he's doing with the baseball in particular?
To me, the baseball has been something that's subject to change for many years. It's not just one commissioner. So I don't totally agree with pointing the finger at Rob Manfred. I do feel like a lot of the things he's touched are crap. It's easy to be like, God, he's ruining everything. He does ruin things. But this in particular, I feel like there's always an adjustment. I don't think anytime a pitcher, especially, a Cy Young future Hall of Famer like Clayton Kershaw, if he's going to speak on it and tell us, he knows it a hell of a lot better than us about the way it feels in your hand, the control that a pitcher can have with it. Spin rates have obviously become something that's talked about so much over the last 5 years. So any advantage that pitchers can have with that becomes a disadvantage to the hitters. So I think that's legitimate. Tinkering, you can't say it's a dead ball because there's been dead ball era in baseball where no home runs are hit. There's still a ton of home runs hit, but they have to be able to find it. They have to be able to catch the ball. And at least 6 times, 7 possibly, there have been teams that just can't seem to get the barrel on the ball. And I think that's something that has proven to be a big challenge. Pitchers have a slight advantage now, but it's always kind of going back and forth. Next thing they're going to do is move the mound back on them. So they're going to have the seams. They're going to be able to spin the hell out of that ball, but now it's going to be more time for the batters to reach it. So it's always evolving. And I don't know that I would blame one person for it or not. But I mean, if a pitcher is saying that there's something noticeably different, you trust them.
All right. So here's the thing. No hitters speed up the game. Right, yeah. Because there's no hits.
Games go fast. If you're ever at a 1-0 game, we were in Beloit for a 1-0 game. Before you know it's the 5th inning.
Right.
No hits.
So that's exactly what he wants. He's achieved his goal.
Get everybody the hell out of here.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So
everyone will be happy.
It's not what I want to see. I don't want to see no hits in a game.
You don't want to see a no hitter?
I want to see a no hitter. I don't want to see no hits in a game.
That doesn't make sense.
A lot.
No, but
right?
everybody, if you are watching at home, you know that's bullshit. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, how about I don't want to see few hits in a game. I don't want to go to a 2-hitter. Right?
That is interesting. As a baseball fan, you are there for the excitement. The moment the no-hitter's lost, you would like it to be 10 runs.
Right.
You're not dying to get out of there. The last thing you want to see is your team put up a run or two, have 4 hits all day, and you just sat out in the sun for no reason.
If no-hitters are no longer special because they happen every week.
That's a good point. Now, that's more of the point. I have been to a no-hitter, and it feels special to me. But when there is 12 in a season versus 1, there's been times where there's 1 or none, then you lose a little bit of that shine. So that's a more legitimate complaint versus you saying, I want to see a no-hitter, but not no hits.
Right. Well, I want to see hits. I go to a baseball game for action.
The action.
Okay.
Right.
So anyway, question 3. The White Sox, in an effort to be relevant in Chicago and nationwide, have copied future Hall of Fame manager Joe Madden and did a themed road trip where players dressed up. They were told to dress like Yoan Moncada.
Yeah, which we've talked about on this program. Is got serious dread. Nothing. Everybody wants to dress like you. You should want to dress like Yoan Moncada.
He was in a music video in which he wore a onesie. So basically, the road trip theme boiled down to the
onesies,
the team wearing onesies
or floral pattern shirts. Lots of chains.
Right.
Lots of guys in chains.
All right. So if you're on the team, or maybe if you're wearing a onesie to our recording here, what does it look like? What kind of flair? What kind of Yoan Moncada flair?
Nice.
Are you wearing?
Yeah, you know, he's got some style, man. I don't know. Maybe we could include a picture or something like that for everybody to be able to see. If you're not familiar with Yoan Moncada, which I imagine some people aren't, you're missing out. Number one, handsome as shit, real good looking guy, lots of chains, chest always out because he's in good shape. Usually some floral pattern stuff. Wife hates Hawaiian shirts. I can't go Hawaiian, so I'm going to have to think creatively. Number one, real quick, I know Joe Madden does this thing. I always associate the Joe Madden trips with a good team. They're loose. They're having fun. And when I see the White Sox doing it, best record in the American League, I'm like, sign me up. Everyone's wearing a onesie, goddammit. I don't care. That sounds good to me. I want to see pictures of Billy Hamilton in a onesie. Anyway, the question was, which one would I choose? I mean, here's what I'm thinking. I want something crazy, something nobody's really thought of before. I want something off the wall. Give me like, maybe like the Kool-Aid Man or some shit. I want a bunch of Kool-Aid Mans on me or something that way. And I'll just walk around and everyone sees me in the gold chains.
Through a wall.
And I just like,
kind of shit, yeah.
I want to blast through like a couple of my friends and be like, oh yeah. And just be like, he's got the drip, looking nice. And he did that 1990s Purple Source Rex Kool-Aid Cool Man shit. And that's what I would do. Totally came up with that
On the fly. I'm not giving you these beforehand. So, yeah, that's good work.
That's good.
That's good. Not an easy question to come up with.
An easy
off
question.
the top of your head.
That was good. You tried to give me. Okay. Okay, question number 3 in the book. So let's talk beer, man. Today we have a baseball beer, which is always one of those things, if we can find baseball beer, not just talking baseball, drinking beers, we're taking next level shit. We're going to go ahead and bring a baseball beer to the table. And what we have here is Haymarket Beer Company, which is downtown Chicago, Randolph Street in Chicago, came out with a beer, which is a IPA, a peach IPA called Relief Peacher. What do you think?
It's pretty good. I like fruity beers right now. It's all the trend, and this works for me.
We've talked about it.
I don't like IPAs.
Right.
But when you add some fruit in there...
Throw some fruit. Take the bite away. Throw some peach in there. I like it.
Yeah.
Not too heavy. You can see right through this guy. Yeah. Light, refreshing. This is a good summer beer to me. And
I like it a lot.
Goes with baseball. You'll notice that a lot. It's the type of thing you could see in a ballpark. Hopefully you can get it at a ballpark. That'd be great. If not, we can get it locally, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to buy local, drink local, shop local, always support the local breweries. Let's get question number 4.
Question number 4. All right, at my last game, I went to a Market Brewers game, half off for kids, day game, set in Miller Lite Landing.
Sick invite, bro.
I had one of these like half moon high top bar tables.
Those are popular right now. A lot of ballparks have those. Where even if it's just standing, a table that you can stand at. You take your standing room only, give you a half table, and people are happy.
Right. I bought tickets. Had table 7, four chairs there in the outfield, right next to the bullpen.
Yeah,
sweet. Loved it.
Looked nice.
You should have been there. Sorry, the pod size,
Sorry,
COVID,
only could have 4. That COVID thing.
Anyhow, when you're buying tickets at a game, I typically try to go like first baseline, get a little shade or something.
Yeah.
Where are you looking at to get a ticket when you buy? When you go to a game?
That's a good question. That's a really good question because we go to a lot of games. Yeah. And there's times where I'm in charge of getting tickets for games and times where other people are. And we do. Different preferences come out. Yeah. With my White Sox package, I like to pick, I have certain locations I like to go. I like to be on the baseline, like third baseline, or in the outfield, in the bleachers. I want to be out there. But you mentioned if you don't like being in the sun, you're going to be in the sun the entire game. There's also the belief when we go somewhere, and maybe you guys are like this too, just getting general admission tickets so that you can kind of move around. The goal is, I remember when we were in Cleveland one year, the goal was to end up in a location that was like almost ahead of its time out at Progressive Field. There was those seats, I think they're out in right field, that were like standing room only. Right. You had table space to set your beer down, and you could enjoy it. That was a hell of a lot better than the seats that we actually paid for that were up behind home plate in the 500 level or whatever the hell it was, nosebleed section. So I don't necessarily choose to avoid sun. I don't choose to have comfortable chairs. I always try to put myself in position for foul ball territory. We've talked about that in the past. I always like the idea of being able to make a play. I would prefer baseline, but I also like feeling like I can move around. I like flexibility at a ball game. Yeah. So I'll take general admission and just let me go wherever I want to go.
So these seats I was at, giant concrete wall behind us, blocking all the wind, direct sun the entire game.
With the roof open.
With the roof open. If it's a sunny game, you're gonna it's a sweatbox right there.
Right.
I would not recommend that in the middle of summer on a sunny day.
Right.
So typically I'm looking to get out of the sun a little. If it's gonna be hot, man, I don't want to die out there. So I'm looking to find some shade.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that too. I do, I don't like, I burn too. You gotta consider those things. One of those things, I like to bring sunblock when I go to a game, and now I don't even think you bring a bag any game you go to this year. So you have to plan on not having that option. So that makes those shaded seats like a total premium.
Interestingly, the Milwaukee Brewers had pumps full of hand sanitizer as well as sunscreen.
Oh, nice.
Available.
Apply it liberally.
Right. Yeah. So, anyway, question 5.
Question 5, wrap it up.
I subbed on a softball team this week for the first time I played softball in a while.
Since we played, it was like 5 years ago? How long ago? It was a long time ago.
Anyway, we're getting stopped by 20 runs, right? And they had these two guys that would come up and, with a 20-run lead, these guys are taking walks. Like, come on, man. On 3-0, take a swing, get another pitch,
Right.
Like, what are you doing taking walks?
Right.
In a 20-run lead in a softball game.
You're right.
So, on that same day, your mean Mercedes...
Oh, I remember him.
Right, yeah. He hit a 3-0 pitch at 47 miles an hour for a home run in a blowout game.
Shit hasn't landed yet.
Right. Yeah, no, it was good for him,
Nice shot.
So this pissed some people off.
Some people were mad all week long. I don't know if you heard about it nationally. In Chicago, that's all that's been on the radio.
I was also pissed off at this clown taking walks. So, I feel like there's some unwritten rules here that were broken in the softball game as well as in an MLB game.
Unwritten rules. It's almost as if it should be a segment.
So, can you tell us, why does your mean Mercedes want to ruin baseball?
You son of a bitch. I was wondering how you were going to come in there and take a dump on socks. But no, we're not doing it. Everybody in America is sitting here supporting your mean Mercedes. Let me tell you something real quick. We're going to keep this brief. We might need to have a sub-segment to talk about this action. Willian Studio, I think is his name, which is the big, lovable, round teddy bear on the Minnesota Twins. Position player, catcher by design, has played some third base, also has made some relief appearances over the years as just the pitcher who throws meatball BP practice balls to major league hitters during a blowout. Okay? Everybody in Minnesota loves that guy. Everybody in Minnesota loves that. He comes up against your mean Mercedes, who, by the way, is like looking into a mirror if you are a studio. The same guy. Lovable. Everybody cares about him. Everything your mean does is wonderful on the south side of Chicago. You don't appreciate it, but everybody else does. Here's the deal. He's up there throwing 46-mile-an-hour meatballs over the plate. Your mean ain't going to sit there and look at those. And here's a lot of major league players actually struggle to hit those balls, or they smash them right into somebody. It happens all the time. He goes up there and just smashes the hell out of it, and of course it went over 400 feet over center field wall. He's not a villain. I don't want to hear about unwritten rules. If it's unwritten rules and you are worried about your feelings, don't put in chubby catcher, third base, everyone's crowd favorite to throw BP meatballs. That's not the way to do it.
You okay with taking walks when you're up 20 in a softball game?
I think you should be swinging. You shouldn't be taking out a 3-0. I wonder if Tony La Russa would have
taste, right? Come on.
Would he have been like, hey man, no take on that one, just swing away? And so that the larger question, I think, does baseball have a problem when the game gets out of hand? Is that something to visit? Does Rob Manfred feel, in an effort to try to get the game over with, is it really in his best interest to keep players out there who might just give up more hits? Or is it in his interest to find a way to wrap it up quicker, which a major league pitcher would help with that? Also, by wrapping it up quicker might mean that you have to, call it. It's over in 7. You've already made a 9-inning Major League game, 7 innings.
Man, you changed the game, guys. Got all the good ideas. I like baseball the way it is. So, for me, when I'm up 20 in a softball game and I'm 3-0, I'm swinging no matter what because I want to see another pitch because I actually want to hit the ball. Mm-hmm. That's just what I'm going to do, unwritten rule kind of thing.
Your mean wants to hit the ball. He sees 3-0. He wants to swing too.
Right. Opposite applies to MLB. 500 plus people have seen that same pitch and chosen not to swing. He's the only one.
I think a lot of players swing at those position player pitches and they sometimes miss. It doesn't mean they're not good at baseball. They're just not ready. Sometimes they swing and nail it into the ground because they're trying to time it, and they're not used to seeing a ball that's coming half the speed of what they're usually swinging at. But your mean didn't miss.
I'm just saying, even in softball, there's unwritten rules.
You don't apologize for hitting a home run. ever,
Even
ever.
Men's league softball, there's unwritten rules, and we're okay with it because it's just common sense.
Did that next batter get hit? When the guy took a walk, did you guys hit the next batter? You should have.
But I said
unwritten
something.
rules.
I said, this clown's taking a walk. They're up 20. I said something. It's the best you can do in softball.
You don't want to be that guy, man. Don't be that guy heckling people from the stands.
No,
you might not like it, but you know what? If you're a fan of the Minnesota Twins and everything is fine when your guy comes up there throwing 46 miles an hour, what are players supposed to do against him?
Let's talk about this in the next video.
We're going to have to break this out into a sub-segment.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to talk about on written rules. But today, we managed another 5 questions. You did good. You came up with some goodies. I'm glad you got to play softball. I don't like the fact you went to a game without me. That's a jerk move. But we did it. 5 questions. Make sure you're following us at Baseball Mapper. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you can see our videos. And next week we'll try again. And maybe he'll come up with something. He's not going to be so salty like he is right now. Maybe.
Sorry.
We'll see.